When a parent abducts their child to another country without the parent's permission, it can be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to get that child returned to the United States. A parent's only real option is to seek repatriation of the child through the Hague Convention, which is an expensive and time-consuming process, and not every country is a signatory to that treaty. Hi, I'm Representative Roger Goodman, and in this Good Minute, we'll talk about legislation that I've sponsored and unanimously passed through the House to update our laws regarding parental child abduction and to create a way for one parent to prevent another from abducting their children to another state or country. Although the United States is a signatory to the Hague Convention on International Child Abduction, this only applies after a child has already been abducted. In the last 2 years in our state alone, 46 children were abducted by one parent. These abductions have tragic, lifelong consequences for the child. For an issue such as interstate or international abductions, it's vitally important that the laws adopted across our country be uniform to avoid a patchwork of regulations that might help an abductor escape justice. Accordingly, the National Uniform Law Commission proposed the Uniform Child Abduction Prevention Act, which has already been adopted in 15 states, and I drafted and introduced House Bill 1121, which allows a parent to petition a court to take measures to prevent a child abduction before it happens. Measures to prevent a child from abduction could include imposing travel restrictions, prohibiting a parent from removing the child from the state or country, prohibiting a parent from removing a child from school or daycare, requiring a parent to surrender their child's passport, or entering the child's name into the Federal Passport Alert Program. Under House Bill 1121, in order to obtain an abduction prevention order, a parent must present evidence that there is a credible risk of abduction, such as one parent abandoning employment, closing bank accounts, selling their home, terminating a lease, applying for a passport, or seeking to obtain the child's birth certificate or school records. A judge must also consider factors such as if the parent lacks strong financial, family, emotional, or cultural ties to the state, has presented or used forged documents, is likely to take the child to a country that is not a signatory to the Hague Convention, or is likely to take the child to a country that poses a risk to the child's safety due to human rights violations. I initially proposed this legislation a decade ago, but I paused when survivors of domestic violence alerted me that it could be used by an abuser to stop an abused spouse from fleeing with their children. Now, this new version of the legislation makes clear that an abduction prevention order should not be issued if the court finds that one parent is fleeing domestic violence or taking measures to prevent imminent harm to the child or the parent. Parental abduction is a traumatic experience that can lead to years of uncertainty and disruption in a child's life. By passing this law, we will give parents an effective tool to prevent child abduction before it happens and provide children with the safety and stability that they need. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and look for more Good Minutes coming soon.